All right, friends, I think we are live, which means we are good to go. All right, so I wanted to chat with you guys today about liver cleansing specifically, and relating that to the spring season that's approaching, right? That's ahead of us, why it's important. We're going to talk about the health benefits, and also we're going to talk about the emotional and the spiritual benefits of cleansing in general, but specifically around this time of the year. So, we do have the spring equinox approaching. And one of the things that we want to be aware of is always checking in, right, with ourselves. How are we feeling? How do I feel? What presses my buttons? What really brings joy? And of course, doing more of the things that bring joy, but also understanding how to treat our bodies and how to really improve our health on a very holistic level. Natural healing is completely possible. And so, with specific tips and tools and tricks, I really want to help you guys understand some different options that you have to cleanse the liver. So, first of all, let's talk about why cleansing the liver is important to begin with. Now, your liver is one of the powerhouse organs in your body. So, it has about 500 plus functions. That's a lot of jobs, y'all, right? So, your liver is responsible for not only neutralizing and eliminating toxins, that's what we all pretty much know, is that that the liver removes toxins from our bodies, but the liver is also a very important place for hormonal conversions to happen. Now, if you know anything about thyroid health, or if you've ever struggled with thyroid issues, or let's see what else, any other kind of hormonal imbalance, and some of those signs carry over from hormone to hormone, but some very classic symptoms might be irritability, moodiness. If you're a female, heavy, painful periods. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that can happen with imbalanced hormones. But what I want you guys to know is that the liver is responsible for converting a lot of these hormonal processes. So, for example, the liver, the thyroid, just to give you an example, you make what's called T4, okay? And your thyroid then converts the T4 to T3. But guess where most of that conversion happens? In the liver. And T3 is the active form of thyroid hormone. So if you're not making enough of that, your thyroid is going to be out of balance and you will feel it. You can experience brain fog, memory issues, being cold all the time, losing weight, gaining weight. There's a whole lot of stuff, right, happening in the liver. That's just one piece of it. But your liver is also responsible for breaking down and getting rid of excess estrogens. Now, both genders make estrogen. We just make our hormones in different amounts. Now, the important thing is that we want to make sure we are getting rid of those excess estrogen metabolites so that way they can be eliminated from the body. Because when they're not eliminated, they stay in our body and they recirculate, right? Just like a fan. And that can lead you to having an estrogen dominance, right? And when that happens, you will again have more hormonal symptoms. So this is just a peek inside of what the liver actually does. Now let's hop into why it's important to do a liver cleanse in general. I know we're going to talk about the spring equinox. I know we're going to talk about the importance and the correlation to the springtime. But first, why cleanse the liver? So we want to eliminate toxins, number one, right? We want to improve our hormonal picture. Improving that hormonal picture happens by improving those hormonal conversions that take place in the liver. Also, your liver filters your blood. It does share this role with your kidneys, but your liver plays such an important role. So if you're somebody who feels like maybe you get really, really tipsy, let's say if you have a drink, if you drink alcohol and you're a lightweight, right? You would describe yourself as a lightweight, or you have symptoms after drinking alcohol, but you kind of push through and do it anyway because you feel in your mind like the benefits outweigh the risks, even though they really don't all the time. But if you're that person, it could be that your liver is sluggish or congested. Now, here's a trick for you. Whatever your age is, consider your age. That is the amount of time that you have accumulated junk, right? We have toxins from the air, from the water supply, from the food. And if you're not careful, you're just piling on toxin after toxin. And it becomes really hard for your liver to keep up. And that's how you end up with a sluggish liver. So those are some really easy to understand reasons why you want to detoxify the liver. How often should you do it? Some people will say, cleanse your liver with the change of each season. That's a great idea. It doesn't always happen. But at least once or twice a year, give your liver a little bit of love and be intentional about what you're doing. And that's cleaning your liver. Now, how can we do that? Like, what are the options? You can use things like a liver tincture. An herbal tincture is a liquid extract of an herb and in a liver formula. So, for example, in my company, Tao Apothecary, we have our own in-house line of herbal formulas, right? We have some single herbs and we also have some combinations. Our liver combination really helps to remove the sludge and all of that junk from the liver and the gallbladder. So it improves your bile flow. So it improves your skin health. If you have eczema or psoriasis or anything else connected to liver function, that's just one way. Now, using an herbal tincture is a way to really provide like deep therapeutic support, right? Because you're taking that herbal medicine 2 to 3 times a day. Those herbs are jam packed with naturally occurring chemicals that really help to cleanse and reset the liver. And you can regenerate your liver in about 3 months. I know that might sound like a long time, you guys, but imagine all the years, right? We just did the trick with your age. That's how long you've been carrying around and accumulating toxins. So spend a couple of months showing your body some love. That's one way that you can do a liver cleanse, is to take liver supporting herbs. You can also do liver supporting teas. So an herbal tea can be very, very beneficial at like ushering you into a cleanse, helping usher you out of a cleanse. So it's just a gentle way to like enter and exit a detox regimen if you have one planned. Herbal teas are also perfect for maintenance. They usually taste pretty good because they are a weaker form of herbal medicine, not weaker in terms of, they don't work, but it's just, lower on that efficacy scale, if you will. But herbal teas are also perfect for everybody in the family, from pets to kids to adults. And so they're very versatile. Another way that you can cleanse the liver is by doing a liver flush. So I'm going to get into that in just a minute. All right, so let's talk about spring. Spring equinox will be here in about a week, maybe a little bit more. And what happens with the spring equinox, it's all about balance. Like, we want to use this time to be as balanced, as comfortable in our skin, in our body, in our mind, in our spirit as possible. So in traditional Chinese medicine, the springtime is traditionally when you cleanse the liver. That's when you focus on the digestive area, and focus on your liver. And your liver is really impactful because it also produces a lot of your digestive enzymes. So if you're somebody who gets like gas, bloating, anything like that, abdominal discomfort after you eat a meal, then you probably are not eating the right foods for your body type, or you're not digesting them properly, or both, right? And sometimes just having a sluggish liver can make us more prone to food sensitivities and allergies, and also eczema and different skin conditions. Now, we know about the spring equinox. It's all about balance. Springtime in Ayurveda and traditional Chinese medicine, that's really the ideal time to cleanse the liver, because think about it. When you're in balance, when you feel like you're in balance and springtime approaches, you're probably thinking about trying new things, maybe starting a new exercise regimen or eating cleaner. Sometimes you're like, you know what, I think I'm going to do a detox, or I think I'm going to exercise. You might get an accountability partner and try to do something new and really create this rhythmic relationship, right? Because whenever we go outside of those laws of nature, we do encounter problems. We encounter issues. So the idea is to live as closely to nature and the seasons as possible. That's what's going to allow us to gently move through those periods, right? So when you're in balance, you might feel creative. Maybe you pick up a new hobby or start a hobby that you gave up years ago. You might feel adventurous. You might want to go outside and garden. And a lot of people think, oh, yeah, it's the time to go outside and garden because the weather's nicer. Well, that's part of it. But ideally, it's because it's the time to break ground, right? It's when it's spring, things are blooming and blossoming. And it goes the same for you, for us humans. We should always be trying to evolve. And so springtime is the perfect time to try new things, right? And then we maintain that throughout the summer. But if you are out of balance, then you might be feeling lazy. You might be feeling congested. This is when allergies start to arrive. And you might also be sick of monotony. So if you are in a space in your life where you're like, look, I'm tired of doing the same things. I feel like I don't know what to do to hit the reset button, but I need a change. Then that just is a sign that your body and your mind might be a little out of balance in terms of the seasons, right? And that's okay. We just figure out what we need to do and then we jumpstart it. So starting tomorrow, I'm actually going to do a liver cleanse for 7 days. And I'm generally not a proponent of like a 3-day cleanse, a 7-day cleanse, but it is an easy way to like gently usher yourself into a regimen if you're new to it. It doesn't mean you're going to eliminate, if you're 40 years old, you're not going to get rid of 40 years worth of toxins, but it's a great place to start and you will feel so good at the end, not just physically, but also mentally, which we're going to talk about in just a minute. All right, so here's an idea, and I have a free sources page, free resources on my website that breaks down all of the ingredients to these 2 recipes I'm going to share with you. The first is the master cleanser. The second is the liver flush in a weekend. Okay, so don't be afraid, don't get scared. But the master cleanser is very simple. And I didn't coin this phrase. I wouldn't actually call it a master cleanser myself. But I think the reason why it got its name and its fame is, and you'll know when I tell you the ingredients, is because it works on a systemic level. So it's full body cleansing, y'all. And it's very, very helpful to cleansing the liver. So this would be a combination of freshly squeezed lemon juice. You could sub limes or grapefruits, but I love lemons because they're alkalizing. They're so good for so many things. You would use 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. You're going to add some good quality maple syrup, 8 ounces of clean, pure water, and then cayenne pepper to taste. Does this sound familiar? A lot of people would use this to lose weight and things like that. But here's the thing. If you need to lose some inches, that's fine. But you need to focus on detoxification. Why? Because toxins hide out in your fat. Yes, toxins hide out in your fat cells. So the next time you want to go on a weight loss regimen, think about the health of your body first. Don't worry about the number you want to see on the scale, the jeans you want to fit into. Worry about, how do I make myself healthier and put my body in a better place where it can heal itself and start working better on its own? And the answer is cleansing and detoxification. It doesn't have to be big, this huge moment or event. Like, we should be cleansing on a regular basis because we're taking in toxins on a regular basis. So that is an idea of the master cleanser. And so for days 1 through 3, I'm going to do the master cleanser with those ingredients I just shared 3 times a day. Okay. You can drink more if you want. On days 4 and 5, I'm going to move into a liver flush. Now, a liver flush actually helps to dilate the bile ducts, so that way your gallbladder can release gallstones. And most people have anywhere from a few to hundreds or even thousands. And you'll notice a difference if you do release gallstones, because in your stool, they will appear like a greenish yellow color, the color of bile, right? So cleansing the liver is so impactful. I mean, I'm telling you, you will feel so good. So with a liver flush, this one you do want to schedule sort of around a time where you know you can be at home, because it will send you to the bathroom. That's the idea. So don't go giving me, oh, do I have to stay at home or do I have to take off of work? Listen, cleansing is cleansing, right? And so when you are cleansing the digestive system, the bowels, any part of that region of your body, you have to give yourself, you should be happy that you're cleansing and going to the bathroom. You have to give yourself a route of elimination. And your bowels is the #1 channel of elimination. That's the main route. So I always jokingly say, like, wherever you live, whatever the freeway is near you, the highway. So like, I live near I-95, right? I better keep I-95 open, because if not, and then I go to start detoxing my liver or any other part of my body, that's going to create a backup. You don't want a traffic jam, because then the toxins will recirculate in your body like a fan, like, which is no bueno. You can end up in a worse situation if your bowels are not open to begin with. So I always give the heads up that you should be moving your bowels at least 2 times a day, easily and effortlessly. Okay. And if you're not, handle that first and then start the liver flush. Now, I do have an amazing colon cleanse product that you can find on my website, but it's amazing because you can use it over the long term. It's not just a laxative formula. It's not just another colon cleanse product. It helps to get rid of impacted fecal matter and poop, all that stuff off of your intestinal walls. Because if you feel the urge to go, but you can't go, let's say you're driving or you're at work, or you just choose not to go because you're out in public, that waste goes right back into your body and starts to line your intestinal walls. I know that's gross, but the average person is holding anywhere from like 4 to 40 pounds of poop. So some people really are full of, you could fill in the blank, right? Okay, so that was corny. But anyway, when we're talking about doing the liver flush, you want to make sure that your bowels are open. Days 1 through 3, I'm doing the master cleanser recipe, which is very simple, and it's only 8 ounces per serving, right? And I'm going to do that 3 times a day, ideally on an empty stomach. That way it does not have to compete with any food. It goes right into my bloodstream, right into my liver, and really starts working right into those cells. Days 4 to 5 is where the liver flush comes into play. This is a combination of grapefruit juice, extra virgin olive oil, magnesium salts, also known as Epsom salts. You want to get a food grade Epsom salt, right? And that is what helps to dilate the ducts so that your gallbladder can release the gallstones. I'm telling you guys, you will feel so incredible. Now, okay, let me finish this. Days 4 and 5, days 6 and 7, I'm going back to the master cleanse. So that's sort of my way of gently ushering my body out of this detox regimen, right? Over this 7-day period. Now, what was I going to say? But anyway, I'm not sure. I'll come back to it. So after the 7 days, you can maintain a healthy liver by doing a liver tincture, right? That formula that I mentioned earlier, or by drinking a liver support tea. And that's something that can be very, very beneficial because we do take in toxins all the time. If you successfully cleanse your liver, you can relieve food allergies, food sensitivities. Those are different. A food sensitivity is typically when you have a digestive response to something that your body doesn't really like. So if you have something with gluten in it, which is a protein in wheat, rye, and barley, and you get like a little bloating or gas, that's a food sensitivity, generally speaking, right? If you're having difficulty digesting something. But if you have an immune response added to that, where now you have like anaphylaxis or going into shock or something. So cleansing your liver can really alleviate those things, but also allergies, asthma, all of the junk that we breathe in and inhale that we can't see with the naked eye. Cleansing the liver removes the sludge from your liver, number one, but it's also going to help to correct a lot of those sensitivities and deficiencies, okay, wherever your body might be a little bit weak. So keeping this up after the 7 days is very simple because you can simply drink a liver support tea or take a liver blend, a tincture blend. Now, some herbs that are really supportive for the liver would be like dandelion root, artichoke leaf, barberry root. Gosh, there are so many, but you can even make your own liver tea at home using some household herbs like turmeric, ginger, dandelion root is very easy to get. You can add those 3 things, and that's not only a liver supportive formula, but that also becomes like an immune boosting, immune supportive formula as well. So that is really my take on how to do a simple liver flush, because you can cleanse with a liver tincture. You could do that for 3 months and rejuvenate your liver and really hit the reset button. But there are a lot of people out there who are like, listen, I want a full body systemic effect. I want something that's not just going to benefit my liver. That's where this master cleanser and the liver flush recipe come into play. Here's the thing. Your liver stores emotions, specifically anger, hate, jealousy, bitterness, all of those negative, heavy emotions. Your liver stores them. And so what happens when you don't cleanse them is your body hangs on to these emotional residues, right? When you cleanse, you can experience anger while you're detoxing, especially if it's your first time. Totally normal. And it's also normal to have some other mild detox symptoms, like maybe headaches or skin rashes or things that might only last just a few days. You might feel the sniffles, like cold symptoms. Remember to push through. Remember to push through. Those are just signs that your body is working. It's talking to you and it is telling you, hey, like fill in the blank with your name. Like, I don't know what you're doing, but I'm loving this, right? And so the toxins have to have a place to go. They have to find their way out. And so keep that main route of elimination open, but also keep in mind you might get a headache or whatever. So you can keep ibuprofen or something like that on hand if the symptoms are really bad. But as long as you're not allergic to anything that you are taking during this cleanse, push through. I promise you, you will feel so much better. So cleansing the liver will help release those stored stagnant emotions and will also help you release things that no longer serve you. Here's my last thing about this. If you have a partner or a spouse, right? Try to get that person to do this with you. Here's why. When we do a physical cleanse, we're not only cleansing the physical body, we're cleansing the emotions, like I said, That's cleansing the spirit, guys. And when you cleanse the spirit, what happens? You have a new, fresh perspective on life. You have a new outlook, and you're like, okay, I'm ready to like do bigger things. I'm growing, I'm evolving. And see, people will tell you that, oh, do this for spiritual cleansing or do this for spiritual growth. Read this book, watch this video. But listen, your body is literally your temple. Yes, we are spiritual beings inside of a physical body, but we have to take care of that physical body. I'm not here to tell you you need to go vegan, you need to do 100% alkaline diet. I'm not here to tell you that, right? Those things should be based off of your own informative learning so you can make an informed decision and do what resonates with your spirit, what resonates with your heart center, right? Because what works for me might not work for you. Okay. So, but when we release those emotions by cleansing the body, we are cleansing the spirit. That's deep. And as you start to feel like, okay, I'm growing, I'm evolving, I'm seeking, I'm a truth seeker, sometimes your partner might not feel the same way, especially if they don't do a cleanse with you or if they're generally not a healthy, person. And so what happens is you'll start to feel like, well, they're stuck where they are. And I know I was just there like a month ago, but now I see things clearly and I want to grow. I want to dive deeper and just start soaking up all the, knowledge I can about mysticism, spirituality. I'm telling you, this is like opening a door to your healthiest self. Okay. And so try to get your partner to be on board with you. That way you guys can experience this together. And really that does deepen bonds and really creates a deeper relationship because you know what each other's going through. And it's not just about what you're going through on a physical plane, but it's about what you're going through spiritually and emotionally. So give yourself grace, give yourself patience. If you don't get to this until after the spring equinox, that's fine. I just wanted to bring up the relationship to the spring equinox to let you know that, hey, that's a reminder. Where are you in your life? It's all about balance. So I guess basically I want you to really think about this and implement some sort of a cleanse protocol into your life. So like I said, I'm going to start tomorrow. And if you guys are not in my Facebook group already, it's called I'm So Holistic. I may be changing that name soon. So that's just a head up in case you're watching this replay in a few weeks. But hang out with me there and I will be updating you on how I'm feeling throughout my liver cleanse. So that's what I have for you guys today. This was my very first live. If you guys have questions or comments, you can drop them below. You can also find me, like I said, on Facebook, on Instagram. Also, you can just visit my website, CicelyEverson.com. You can, you'll view the free resources page, which I do have linked in the description box here, and enjoy those recipes. And please let me know how you guys enjoy it. If you're not already subscribed to my page, as you can see, I'm just getting started. That's okay. I don't feel bad. So add yourself to that list by subscribing and also hitting that notification bell so that you always know when I'm about to run my mouth. Okay, that's all I have for you guys today. Happy Friday, and I would love to hear your feedback. All right, talk to you guys soon. Bye.